Hey, what's up guys? Bitcoin officially made new all-time high, and this could be just the beginning. In this video, I will try to calculate the probability of Bitcoin reaching $100,000 in 2021. Listen up, you already invest in crypto. Why aren't you investing in tax-free crypto? iTrustCapital is the only provider that allows you to invest in crypto assets within your retirement account. They allow you to not only buy Bitcoin, but Ethereum, Ripple, and many others. They even have Chainlink coming very soon. It's designed for beginners and experts alike. They give you 24/7 trading access and even have built-in institutional-grade secure storage. You do not need to worry about creating private keys. If you open an iTrustCapital Roth IRA, it allows you to buy Bitcoin now, and when asset grows over the next few years, you keep all the profit for yourself. No taxes. If you want to learn more, head to iTrustCapital.com and request a free insider guide now. This will teach you all about crypto retirement accounts and how you can invest tax-free. Link to iTrustCapital is in the description box below. Oh boy, Bitcoin is booming. Bitcoin officially broke $20,000 and made new all-time high just today. We also broke out from that ascending triangle. We do not have that $19,600 resistance level anymore from 2017 top. Now we will see a new price discovery and Bitcoin might be setting up for another parabolic explosion. When we say institutional money buying up Bitcoin, we are not joking, we are for real. Just Grayscale Bitcoin Trust alone in Q3 added 63,068 Bitcoin to their inventory. That is going to be more than $1 billion in just one single quarter. Now they own slightly less than 600,000 BTC. Currently, there are slightly more than 18.5 million BTC in circulation, which means Grayscale now officially owns more than 3% of total Bitcoin circulation at the value of more than $11 billion. And guess what? They're not selling. They keep accumulating Bitcoin at the rapid rate. Well, let's hope they aren't going to buy entire Bitcoin stack in the circulation. Just kidding, that won't happen. BTC will always circulate in the market. The question is, at what price? Here is another great diagram that highlights the total Treasury Holdings. ETF alike, such as Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, holds close to 600,000 BTC, and CoinShares also holds slightly less than 70,000 BTC. Then we have publicly traded companies such as MicroStrategy. It is actually a very tiny tech company with a market cap of only $2.6 billion, and they hold more than 40.8 thousand BTC. That's going to be roughly $78 million. So that's going to be a third of the total company's value comes from Bitcoin holding. But there are other tech giants such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, and so on, with $1 trillion of market capitalization. Imagine what would happen if those companies would load up on Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. That would be massive. Then we have private companies such as Block One that holds roughly 140,000 BTC and Trezor's Foundation that holds close to 25,000 BTC. So, as of 2020, there is more than 10% of total Bitcoin circulation are being held as a treasury reserve asset. And guess what? Those 10% are not going to be sold anytime soon. There are also Bitcoin whales with at least 1,000 BTC in their wallets are not selling. As I mentioned in my last video, addresses with at least 1,000 BTC surpassed more than 2,000, and it continues to make new all-time high. Smart money are not selling. Public and private companies are not selling, whales are not selling, I am not selling, hopefully you are not selling. And guess what? If no one is selling and if there are at least some buyers, and we know there are plenty of buyers, Grayscale is one of them, then price will explode. Now let's take a look at Raoul Paul's most recent interview and what he has to say about Bitcoin price prediction by the end of 2021 and 2025. Let's take a look.
I wonder what inspired you to look into crypto more, because looking at your background, you had a very traditional finance background. When you were at Goldman, Bitcoin wasn't even born yet. And so when a client of yours presented you with this completely new asset class, you and like a lot of people didn't dismiss it. Why?
I'm a macro guy. My job is to look for opportunity and then assess it. A lot of people go from the don't tell me what to do approach, which is more traditional. I know what I know. Macro is all about what you don't know. Where is the opportunity? That's why I talk about Iran, because nobody else is investing there. That's where alpha is generated. That's where you make money. So when somebody said, listen, I think there's a perfect asset here that really has this unique property of limited supply, I then looked at it and said, looks like gold to me. So I wrote the first paper back in 2013, 12, of, okay, if it's got the same attributes as gold, I look at its stock to flow ratio in a very crude way. And I said, this thing's probably worth $1 million with gold at 1,300 at the time. And that became quite a famous article in Silicon Valley and on Wall Street. And so it made me think, okay, here's something different. And it answers a lot of the problems.
In 2017, the popular comparison in media was that Bitcoin was like the tulip mania. Now, when you read these headlines, what went through your head? Were you still, did it cause concern for you, or did you dismiss them?
So I was long most of 2017 and sold into the rally too early, but I did great. I made 10 times my money in that period. And yes, it was exhibiting a bubble phase. Now, tulips, as far as I know, still exist. They just don't trade for those prices. And gold has been through bubbles. And speculative manias are normal. Is the asset worthless or not? That's the question. Clearly, it's not now. It's lasted the test of time that there is a perceived value and trust in the asset. So will it go through speculative manias? All assets do. Maybe equities are in that now. And that's normal. That's just human behavior. But at the time, I was nervous because it was going up so fast. And I didn't yet understand as much as I do now. I've given retrospectively, I would have sold out again, maybe not as low as I did. I think I sold out at 2,500. It went up to 20,000. I would probably do the same again, because you don't need to have all the peaks and troughs. You can try and time some of that cycle.
Yeah, you said that in 2017 you saw it as being a bit of a mania. What do you think now? We've reached all-time highs already.
This is wildly different. I have never seen anything like what is going on right now. You have a limited supply asset that now is a globally recognized brand that everybody knows, not everybody understands. But what's happening now is institutions are coming into the space. So first it was the hedge funds, the family offices. Soon are the pension funds and the investment advisors. And they're all coming in. And the more the market cap of Bitcoin comes up, it's about 350 billion right now, the more that they're forced to go in, because it's such a ridiculously well-performing asset and so uncorrelated it is. So we've got a massive wall of money that's coming into this space. And for the first time in our lifetimes, we as ordinary people get to front run the institutions as opposed to them front run us. And so, my conversations of this is, this is real and meaningful and massive. Yesterday alone, I was speaking to the founder of one of the largest investment advisor firms in America. Investment advisors alone have 5 trillion in assets. And he's trying to get all of his advisors and advise all the others as soon as the ETF is launched to get up to 1% of assets. That's 500 billion from the investment advisors alone. It's incredible.
Do you think this institutional money has anything to do with a shift in attitude towards blockchain technology? Let's say blockchain existed back in late 1990, the 90s, early 2000s, when you were still at Goldman. Do you think the banks would have adopted blockchain then?
Yes, they adopted the internet then. We've all seen these phases. These things where we're not going to use this. This is rubbish. Why do we need this? I've got a fax machine. Why do I need email? Suddenly, what's a fax machine? Look at all these .coms, aren't they a mania? Next minute, it's normal, it's part of life, and Amazon's a $1 trillion company. The world goes through these phases, and the more conservative people, the less risk takers, tend to be later to the party. So I think the banks are late here because they're going to get disrupted somewhat.
I've heard a lot of different forecasts on our show for Bitcoin: 20,000, 30,000 by next year, 100,000 by next year, 1 million in a couple of years. Can you help us reconcile this?
Look, again, none of us knows, none of us has a crystal ball. But
Sure.
I use a number of measures. I use technical analysis, logarithmic charts. I use the stock to flow ratio from a guy called Plan B. People can find him on Twitter. That's very well constructed. I use a whole number of different yardsticks. Somebody sent me a report today that's been written about Metcalfe's law and applying that, the adoption of Bitcoin and putting it in price. They all basically come to the same thing. They basically come to, we're going to be somewhere between $500 and $1 million within 5 years. And we should be somewhere between 100 and 300 in the next 12 to 18 months.
In next 12 to 18 months, Raul believes Bitcoin should be at around $100K and $300,000. And in the next 5 years, he believes Bitcoin should be somewhere in between $500,000 and $1 million. Let's try to estimate with some precise probability how likely for Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by the end of 2021. Let's divide this process into number of years to make the math simple. TradingView has a Bitcoin price data since 2012. In the year of 2012, Bitcoin increased from $4 till $13, and that would be 3.25x, a positive year. 2013, Bitcoin increased from $13 till $1,000, and that would be 76x. That is huge. Another positive year for Bitcoin. 2014, Bitcoin dropped from $1,000 till $270, and that would be 73% decline, negative year for Bitcoin. In 2015, Bitcoin increased from $270 till $400, and that would be 1.5x increase, positive year for Bitcoin. 2016, Bitcoin increased from $400 till $1,000, and that would be 2.5x, positive year for Bitcoin. 2017 was crazy. Bitcoin increased from $1,000 till $15,000 on December 31st, 2017, and that would be 15x, another positive year for Bitcoin. 2018 was a bear market. Bitcoin dropped from $15,000 till $3,500, and that would be 78% drop, negative year. 2019, Bitcoin increased from $3,500 till $7,000, and that would be 2x increase, positive year for Bitcoin. And finally, 2020, Bitcoin increased from $7,000 till the current price of more than $20,000, and that would be 2.8x, a positive year for Bitcoin. Now, let's just do a quick summary. 2012, Bitcoin increased by 3.25x, positive. 2013, Bitcoin increased by 76x, super positive. 2014, Bitcoin dropped by 73%, negative. 2015, Bitcoin increased by 1.5x, positive. 2016, Bitcoin increased by 2.5x, positive. 2017, Bitcoin increased by 15x, positive. 2018, Bitcoin dropped by 78%, negative. 2019, Bitcoin increased by 2x, positive. And 2020, Bitcoin increased by 2.8x, positive. So, 7 out of 9 Bitcoin finished the year positive, and that would be 77%. Other 2 out of 9 Bitcoin finished the year negative, and that would be another 23%. So the probability that Bitcoin will finish 2021 positive is at around 78%. Also, let's see how much multiple Bitcoin can get. We have 3.25x, 76x, 1.5x, 2.5x, 15x, 2x, and 2.8x. Right off the bat, I'm going to eliminate 76x. It looks like it's an outlier. So let's just take an average. 3.25 plus 1.5 plus 2.5 plus 15 plus 2 plus 2.8, everything divided by 6 equals to 4.5. The average is 4.5x. The current Bitcoin price is at around $20,000. $20,000 multiplied by 4.5, it equals to $90,000. So we have around 77% chances for Bitcoin to hit 90K by the end of 2021. Not bad at all, but I would argue that there is a better way to analyze the performance of 2021. Since we just had a Bitcoin halving, first Bitcoin halving took place in November 2012, where Bitcoin was at around $10. And the following year, Bitcoin increased all the way till $1,200. That would be 120x. Second Bitcoin halving took place in July 2016. Bitcoin was at around $600. And the following year, Bitcoin tapped at $20,000. That would be 33x. On May 2020, during the third Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin was at around $8,500. If Bitcoin makes another 15 to 20x, then it will certainly surpass $100,000. Let me know, what do you guys think? Will Bitcoin hit $100,000 in 2021? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.